if you have bad credit or you're rebuilding your credit and you're trying to get up to $50,000 in funding, then I'm going to show you a backdoor way to build your file up so that you can get qualified for funding. Now, the first one we're talking about is Bank of America. Now, these are going to be your easiest type of loans you could get from a bank. Okay, and it's very important that you all understand and follow this map I'm gonna put out for you, because we're going to switch the game up to where you'll be like, wow, he did put it out there, right? So here's the situation with Bank of America. They have the balance assist, right? And so with the balance assist, if you've been a member with them for at least a year and you had no derogatories on your account and stuff, Bank of America will give you a short-term loan. Now, understanding that short-term loan may only be $500, but that's okay. Like I said, you're with Bank of America, right? So this here loan, they don't do a credit check, but they do report it to the credit bureaus, okay? So that's going to turn into a trade line. But I want you to hold on to the money. Just listen to what I'm saying, because this is going to really help you. Relationship with Huntington Bank. Huntington Bank has the standby cash loan. Okay, and so with the standby cash loan, it is a short-term loan. Now, here's the interesting thing about it. Does it affect your credit, right? It's not based on your credit. It's based on your deposits in the account. That's how they base theirs on, all right? And so with this here loan, again, because it's not based on your credit, you're able to borrow. Long as you've been with them a certain amount of time and no negatives in the account. But actually, here's how to qualify. To qualify for standby cash, you need $1,000 or more monthly deposit. At least a minimum of $1,000 or more monthly deposit. But this is very important because, again, I'm going to show you how to come back and leverage these banks as well, right? Now, here's the thing about it. You're building up that relationship of trust because you're either rebuilding your credit or you have bad credit, but you've been banking with these people and you've been having good deposits. Now, here's the thing about it. If you are a sole prop, if you are an independent contractor or a side job or something like this, that's the only income you have, then what I would tell you to do, you need to structure your business, structure yourself as a business. And so by you actually structuring yourself as a business, you can set yourself up on payroll and you can have these deposits going into one of these here banks. Now, understanding that Huntington Bank, it is a tier 2 financer, okay? Bank of America is a tier 1, all right? Now, just keep in mind in terms of what it is they're offering you, okay? When you have good deposits and stuff, they're able to give you a loan based on your deposits and not your personal credit. Again, these are small loans, but at the same time, they're cheaper than payday loans. So follow me along because this is going to help you. Wells Fargo introduced the Flex loan, okay, for customers, all right? Now, here's the thing about it with the criteria of it. Eligible customers will see offers on their mobile app, okay? And so, as you can see, they offer anywhere from $250 up to $500, all right? And they charge a flat fee of $12 to $20. Now, I know some of you guys are probably scratching your head because you're like, okay, these are small amounts, but again, this is no credit. This is no pull on your personal credit. Like I said, if you're banking with these, Wells Fargo is a tier 1 bank. Just keep that in mind. But Wells Fargo is a FICO 9 bank. Bank of America, TransUnion, FICO 8. Huntington Bank has switched over from Equifax over to TransUnion FICO 8 as well. Okay, but the main thing about it, if you already have a relationship with these institutions, what I'm going to show you how to leverage, again, when you have bad credit or rebuilding your credit, to be able to get up to $50,000 in funding. All right. Now, the next one is U.S. Bank. If you have a relationship with U.S. Bank will loan you up to $1,000 in $100 increments without a hard pull on your credit. But it's all about your deposits, making sure you have good deposits, okay? And so they trust you. Once they see that you have good deposits, they will loan you up to $1,000, okay? Now, U.S. Bank is usually a TransUnion FICO 9, Okay, now their sister company, Elon Financial, they're TransUnion FICO 9 as well. Okay, and we're going to talk about that in another video. But just keep in mind where they're pulling from, because I want you all to pay attention to it. Then you have Regions, right? So Regions have a protection line. All right. So in terms of like overdraft protection and stuff, so they offer you a line of credit without a hard pull on the credit as well. All right. So enroll in Regions Banking, open an account, personal checking for at least 12 months, deposit at least $100 in the past 35 calendar days in order to get access to this line of credit. All right. Now here's the eligibility for Regions. Okay, open a checking account. As I read before, your checking account cannot be overdrawn for the past 5 consecutive calendar days. All right, but again, Regions is a tier 2 bank. It's a regional bank, and regional banks are more important than your national banks when it comes to funding, because they have more relaxed guidelines in order to help you get funding, whether it's on the personal side or the business side. All right, but I just need you to stick with me, because this is definitely going to help you. All right, now again, as you can see, here's the terms and stuff. No reason unsecured line. All right, and it does not focus on the credit. Okay, this has nothing to do with the credit. It's all about your deposit. This is what I mean about gardening the relationship of a bank. By you guarding the relationship of the bank, even though you may have bad credit or you may be rebuilding your credit, they will still loan you money. But in terms of the money they loan you, how can you leverage that small amount and turn into a larger amount, like up to $50,000? That's what we're here for. Now, the next one is Truist. Okay, so with Truist, they offer a line of credit as well. They call it the Truist Cash Reserve, right? And again, a line of credit based on your checking account history, not your personal credit. This is what we're looking at. Again, with Truist being a regional bank, this is what we want to do. We want to be able to get loans from banks, small loans from banks, that we can actually leverage elsewhere. And that's what I'm going to show you. Now, that being said, so if you're banking with either of these 6 banks here, then you being able to qualify for these loans with no credit check, but they do create a trade line for you on your credit report. Now, here's the next thing you want to do. To help aid your file, you can check out Rent Reporters. For those of you that don't know why this is important, the reason Rent Reporters is important, like some of these other rental reports, because what it is they backdate your credit report. So by them backdating your credit report, say that you've been paying money, cash or money orders for your rent, right? But it's been coming out of your checking account. So what they do, they look at the transactions in your checking account and stuff like that. And what they end up doing, even like they can do landlord verification with Rent Reporters. So you can click the link in the description to actually get access to them. But they can even do landlord verification. And what that do is looking at how long you've been renting and stuff like that. They can make that report, that trade line, show up on your credit report. Now, the reason that's backdated, say you've been paying this way, the cash or the money orders, for over 5 years. So they're backdated 5 years, right? But usually on your credit report, they only show you 2 years of trade credit, right? So they only show you 2 years of trade credit. However, if you look at the age of when the account officially start, that's what it means about backdating the credit file, and which it does help when it comes to funding. This is why it's so important. Now, you can get Rent Reporters. Then the next card you want to go get, which is a very easy card, is the Patel One. Okay, it's an unsecured credit card. All right, because remember, we're building up our file to get access to $50,000. And so with the Patel One, and they have the Patel Rise. So for those build credit without an annual membership, this one goes from $300 up to $5,000. The Patel One Rise has an annual membership. The reason is because you may have a way lower score in order for them to qualify. Like if you don't have no credit or you don't have any negatives on your credit file, then you can start with the Patel One. But if you have negatives on your credit file, then you would start with the Patel One Rise, and it goes from 500 up to 3,500. Unsecured is the Credit.ai. And if you have deposits going like in one of those banks that we talked about, what you do, you can sign up. They use Plaid to verify your deposits and stuff. They give you a $1,500 trade line. Okay? So now we're building up to that $50,000 because now we're starting to get more positive trade lines on the file. Now, here's where the game starts to change. Remember I told you guys that little small amount of money that you borrow? Well, here's where you want to go to, and I have a few others I'm going to share with you, okay? This is BCU. This is Baxter Credit Union, okay? And for some of you all know I talk about them a lot, but the reason that I talk about them a lot is because they are VantageScore TransUnion scoring system, right? And I've told you, rent payments, subscriptions, bill payments, as well as adding authorized users. And if those of you that need authorized users added to your credit file, click the link in the description, schedule a one-on-one consultation for that. But here's the thing about it. You can build up your VantageScore. Since they offer a VantageScore TransUnion score, all right, they offer personal credit cards as well as personal loans that you want to do this. Okay, so this is their personal credit card. Back over here is their personal loan. All right. The reason you want to do this is because, as you can see here, with the secured loan goes from 500 up to 5,000, right? So when you put that 500 in for the secure account, and you can utilize it, right? Now that's a trade line reporting to all three credit bureaus. Then, if you had another bank that you was able to take out a loan, what you want to do, you can do a line. They do it dollar for dollar with a minimum of $150. So you can just put $150 on a secured card. All right. Now, again, you're guarding a relationship. You're building a relationship of trust. Remember, this is a VantageScore scoring. So you having all these other trade lines to start building up that VantageScore scoring system, right? So that you can get access to more money. They do give decent lines of credit. Like I'm talking about, like if you're trying to get a credit card and stuff like that, this is where you want to go to. This is exactly where you want to go to. So again, you're going after $50,000. All right. Now they have 3 different cards here. So this 3 different unsecured cards plus the credit builder card. All right. But this is where you want to start with them. Now they also offer loans and lines of credit, right? And I always tell you guys, even though they offer the loans cheaper than the lines of credit, you want to go for the line of credit, okay? The reason you want to go for the line of credit because it's revolving. And remember, like I said, this is a Vantage scoring system. That's the reason that you want to do what I was showing you, building up your credit file. This is the easiest way, one of the easiest ways that I would tell you how to get up to $50,000, all right? This is Viridian, all right? So with Viridian, here's the thing about it. They don't offer any secured loans, okay? They don't offer any secured cards. However, they do use TransUnion VantageScore 3, okay? That's the reason, and they're not geo-restricted. That's another reason, right? And as you can see here, make sure you lift any credit freezes with your TransUnion. So that's where they're going to pull your TransUnion Vantage scoring system. This is why I tell you guys, there's more than one way to get up to $50,000 in funding. Now, because they are Vantage scoring, both BCU as well as Viridian, you're also able to open up a business account with them as well to get qualified for funding. Now you know that And as a matter of fact, here we are on the business, right? So this is the business. They have the business lending, they have the business credit cards there. But also, so they offer 4 types of personal loans and lines of credit. So they offer the personal loan up to $40,000. Then they offer the premier loan. And this here is available from 10. It starts at 10,000 and up with the premier, okay? Then they offer the line of credit as well as a payday loan. The payday loan is up to $1,000. That's the reason. And again, this is a Vantage 3 credit union. That's the reason I said you leverage your banking institutions. Now that you have these here relationships going here, so you have to join the Habitat of Humanity in order to become a member. Okay, so in order for Viridian Credit Union, you have to join Habitat for Humanities. All right, with BCU, this is what you need to join. You can either join through employment, community charter, family, Life Money U, which is an organization that costs $5, but when you join, they'll waive $5 for you. Okay, so that's the best way to join. But at the same time, even BCU, they offer business products as well. So in terms of like business credit cards, business lines of credit, they offer that also. All right. Now you're able to work your Vantage scoring because you done took a loan from your FICO scoring, and you have trade lines that are reporting as well. And all of this reporting is going to position you for you to be qualified for more funding. All right. And again, opening up the secured card and the secured loan with BCU, this is going to act as a trade line, and then you can go over to Viridian and apply for their loans and credit cards as well. All right. So if you have any other questions about business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off of the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.